Hi guys, I want to welcome you guys here. This is my first video. Moving to the UK at 21 was a big deal. I'm 23 now. But yeah, moving to the UK at 21 was quite a lot. Anyway, let's go straight right into the video. We all know it's very important is picking your course. It's too important when you're coming to do masters, especially when you're spending that much money. You want to pick a course that you are sure that okay, after this course I'll get a job. And let me tell you, no matter the course, there's no guarantee. A lot of time people pick a course that they have no interest in. You can't. I know it's very possible to build an interest, but people pick a course that they actually have no interest in or they actually don't like. And when they come in and they see how much work you need to do to actually get that job, it discourages them. So how did I pick my course? I'm doing digital marketing management. I knew that was the course I wanted to do. I knew that was the course I wanted to do before it was even time for my master's. I did mass communication, which already is in line with digital marketing. I did mass communication, and I remember in our 400 level we had to do like an internship. So I did my internship at like a digital and advertising agency, and yeah, that's when I knew I liked it. I knew that I wanted to do it. And to be fair, it was really nice because I enjoyed it when I did it that time, and I'm enjoying it now. So I kind of already knew that I liked it. Another way you can find your course is actually do your research on TikTok. Actually, people make lists of courses that make money here. Do your research. One thing I would advise anybody that is coming to UK, there is not enough research. One thing about me is I'm a researcher. My friends know, my mom, I will research. Do your research. I did digital marketing management. My brother, who came a year before me, did project management. Had nothing to do with this course, and he did it because people were like, yeah, that's a very good course. So do your research and do a very good course. But you also need to kind of actually build, a likeness for that course. You can't do something you don't. You can study it. You can read to pass the exam. But the work, UK, you work hard. UK is very humbling. As a 21 years old, it was quite humbling. The next one that we're talking about is how to choose your school. How to choose your school is also a very important one. My brother came to UK a year before, and he went to University of Wolverhampton. So that's the school that I picked because my brother was already here, and I kind of already, I didn't want to go too far away from him because having somebody in UK is quite nice. I'm not gonna lie. Traveling alone was difficult, and me and my brother, we didn't live alone for long, but we stayed alone. We stayed together for a while, which was nice. When it comes to picking your school, do your research. I feel like in this my video, I'm going to talk a lot about research because that's how important research is. Just keep doing that research. Go on TikTok, go on YouTube, check for the best schools. You're going to find them, and try to get to know that city. That city where the school is also very important. Try to get to know the city. Like, pick your school and apply for as multiple schools you want to apply for. Apply. You don't have to pay money for applications, so why not apply. But yeah, I didn't apply for plenty schools. I just went straight to that one school because my dad already made it clear to me that was the school I was going to. And to be fair, I didn't mind the school because my brother just finished it. So now I'm going to be going to is agents. This discourse of should I get an agent, should I not get an agent, why should I get an agent? I used an agent, and for me, I used an agent, my brother used an agent, and the agent I used, I did not pay a dime. Let me make that clear. I didn't have to pay any money for my agent because my agent was a school agent, but my school had an agent. My school is University of Wolverhampton, don't forget, guys. My school had an agent. My school had agents that work for them. So the more they bring people and they don't get paid until they've accepted you or until you've paid. So it's a whole lot of processes for them themselves. That is their job. I'm going to be talking a lot about how my agent helped me throughout this processing. So let's just move on to the next one. But try to check whatever school you pick. Do they have their own agent? You don't have to pay. If they do, why not? Why not use them? It's free. They literally help you through the processing. I'll let you know how my agent was able to help me if you want to get an agent, or if you want to get a school that has their own agents, and why not? The next process is going to be my application process, my school fees. The day I submitted my application was on the 8th of September. I'm going to be telling you guys the days everything was done so that you know how long it took me. Remember, I started on the 8th of September. That's when I sent everything to my agent, and my agent applied for me. The good thing about my agent is when he does any application, I get an email too. So they're forwarding it to both me and my agent, because he's not doing it for me. He's doing it like a third party involved in it. So yes, when I actually applied, I needed a personal statement, I needed a reference letter confirming that I had successfully completed from Bowen University. Yes, guys, I finished from Bowen University. My certificate had not yet come out, because actually I did my master's immediately after school. So certificate had not yet come out then. So I just needed a reference letter. I got my reference letter that I have actually finished from Bowen. I got my personal statement and I submitted it. After I did the application, after I submitted it, I remember how we texted my agent, anything. So finally, on the 10th of October 2022, I remember this man sent me a message out. They've given you a conditional offer, which was nice. It was nice, actually. A conditional offer, that's like I think some people actually straight away get an unconditional offer. But unconditional offer, they'll probably ask you for one or two more things they need you to confirm. So they asked me they needed my updated CV, they needed a better scan of my passport, and they needed my certificates. Remember, I said I just finished school. I had literally just finished school. So I had to call my school and be like, oh, my school gave me my statement of results, which they accepted. My transcript was also sent from my school directly to the University of Wolverhampton. My dad was doing most of the payments, like most of all these payments. So I cannot tell you the exact payment. Any payment that I know, I would obviously tell you. I'll let you know. But most of the payments was done by my sponsor, my dad. So I can't really help with that. I think I just left school, if I can remember. We're waiting for our graduation, because we had our graduation in November. So I was very much still a student. So yes. So then obviously I was trying to meet up with like January intake. So my agent, I feel like that's another reason why it's good to have an agent. He knows the timing, he knows what to tell us to do. So it's like, okay, you know what, start registering for your tuberculosis test, the next date. Start checking for the next date that is available. Pick a date, because you have to pick a date for your tuberculosis test, and tell your dad to start putting together his proof of fund. So we started doing all of that one while I was waiting for them to get back to me. Then I got a date. I got a date for the 18th of November for my tuberculosis test. That was the nearest date I could get. You have to book a date. I feel like they'll give you a date or you book a date, I don't know. But that was the date I got. Then 7th of November, I got my own conditional offer. That was them telling me that yes, you're in. Then immediately after that, my agency started their work again, because it was time for interview. And that, I feel like I'm telling you guys the reasons why you might actually use an agent, because he made this interview easy. They told me the questions to practice. As agent, they've been doing this a lot, so they know exactly what they're talking about. They told me the questions to practice on. The morning of my interview, we did the last practice, me and him. I did all of that, and I got a date for my precast interview on the 23rd of November. At this point, I'd already done my graduation. I think I was preparing for NYC camp. I didn't finish my NYC. If you're thinking, how was she going to meet up with January and she wanted to do NYC? I did only the camp in Enugu for 3 weeks. Yeah. My tuberculosis results, remember, I had already gone to do it on the 18th of November. The result came out on the 21st of November, which, just took a few days. When I did my tuberculosis, it wasn't difficult, to be honest. I did my own somewhere on the island. And yeah, just entered, wait on the line when it's your turn to. The line was quite long. I'm not gonna lie, anything you're doing in Nigeria, go on time. Please go on time. Time management, go on time. Be the first person to get there. Trust me, the line was long. Anyway, my precast interview outcome also came out 25th of November. So at this point, I knew that, this is getting real. It's getting real. Because remember, I did that interview. During the interview, my own interview was smooth because my agent already prepped me well. So my interview was smooth. I'm never gonna lie. As they were answering me the question, I was just giving them the questions to expect. Maybe I'll do a video on the questions to expect. Comment down below if you wanted that video. I can tell you guys questions to expect for your interview. I don't know if it's the same for all school, but I feel like there'll be some general questions to expect. You get what I mean? My daddy did my first deposit on the 29th of November, and that was 3,000 for my. It differs for school. My school's first deposit is actually £3,000. December 2nd, I sent in my parents' consent letter, bank statement, parents' passport, birth certificate. I think they also needed that for my visa because it was time for visa. It was time to start the visa. At this point, it is December 22, and it's time for me to go to visa office to do all my visa application, the printout. What I had to print out was my cast letter. My daddy was my sponsor. He was the one sponsoring me, so he had to write a letter. I had to print that out and take that. I had to take my daddy's proof of fund. I had to take my birth certificate, my tuberculosis certificate. I had to take my degree, my transcript, my wife. Print it all out. Take it. Quick story. My daddy did not know that I paid for VIP. So when I went in there, they were just like, oh, okay. Go into and that's how I went there. I sat down, used my phone. So I'm not gonna lie, submitting all these things for me was not hard. I'm never gonna lie, it wasn't hard. I didn't have to join a long line. After doing that was not stressful. That didn't take me. I just had to sit down. They called my name. I went, did my pictures, everything. Then after this, remember this day was December 22. On the 11th of January, I got a message that my visa was out. The pressure. So me and my mommy went to go and get it. My mommy didn't want my driver to know the result, so she's like, when you get it, just open it inside. African mothers, she didn't want anybody to know at this point. She didn't want anybody to know, so she said open it inside before you come into the car. So let me tell you guys, though, that's how I opened it inside, and I'm scrolling. I see like another person's face. The person got it, by the way. I see another person's face. I'm like, what is this? What is going on? I'm literally breathing fast because when I came in, they're just like, oh, Adera Oluwajoyin, and they gave it to me. So why is there another person's face? I'm scared. There's another person's passport in my envelope. So I'm literally trying to turn around. I see somebody running, and he's like, oh my god. I'm like, hi, is this yours? And then he's like, you got in. I'm like, you also got in. It was such a funny moment for the both of us. I feel like we'll both never forget. We don't know each other. We literally don't know each other because it was such a quick stranger moment. Because he's like, oh, you got in. I'm like, you also got in. And then we swapped, and then I checked my own again, and I saw that I got my visa. I paid another £6,000 after my visa came out. I feel like that's the good thing about this thing. Whether you get your visa or not, you know that you pay most of the money after your visa come out, which is good. I was supposed to be in school January. I was supposed to be in school like January 24th. I remember I got my visa January 11th. We could not find a flight. We could not find a flight. The flights we were finding, they were 4 million and above, 3 million and above. My daddy was like, I thought this money I've spent. The man didn't want to. So we found one finally at like beginning of February. And they were like, do I mind not meeting up? And to be fair, I didn't mind. I mind at some point because I'm like, oh my God, I didn't want to. I wanted to, ease into it. But I'm like, you know what? Why not? Because there was nothing I can do. So I was excited already because we already found one. We missed the flights. Guys, we missed the flights. After all the stress we've been through, we missed the flight. Me, my daddy, and my auntie. My mommy was not feeling fine, so she could not follow us. So we were supposed to go to the airport together, but we're like, okay, let's go and eat Chinese restaurant. We ate Chinese restaurant. My daddy's thinking, okay, 2 hours before the flight is an okay time. We get there 2 hours before the flight. The flight had gone. I could not check in anymore. It was so annoying. And I go back home and remember crying. I was literally crying to my mom and dad, like, I'm literally already late. And then I missed my flight. This is a bit too much. I was crying. And then, my dad felt bad because he was the one that said that we should go eat Chinese restaurant. But yeah, the next one when we finally found, trust my mommy, she woke us up early. We were there 5 hours before and we could check in. Nigeria is a very funny place. Anyway, we checked in, everything. To be fair, my distance was smooth. I had a stopover at Kigali, a 3-hour stopover at Kigali before I got to Heathrow Airport. One nice fact, 2 flights that I took, the one from Nigeria to Kigali and the one from Kigali to Heathrow, I was the only one on my row, like literally. That made me so happy. I needed that. I needed to be the only one sitting down. There was nobody beside me. It was nice. When I got to Heathrow, what did I do? My auntie already told me that I should not say I have anything to check in. So I didn't, that one was not really a rushing process. Even the question, like people tell you they will ask you a question to do this. I think it depends. Just be ready for any question. Because you might go there with your mind overflowed that they will ask me. They didn't ask me any question. I just got there and they were like, oh, who are you going to be staying with? I'm going to stay with my brother. Where is his address? I knew his address on my head already. And I told her. And she said, okay, welcome. So like, don't overflow yourself like with questions, but also know the basic. They'll ask you basic questions. That's why she asked me what course of my study, digital marketing management. I've been know that already. I already knew that. Yeah, so that was it. When I got in, my auntie was already waiting for me at the airport. I tried to find my way. I didn't have any SIM card. See, it was hard. At that moment it was hard. But I found my auntie. So you can get a SIM card. So please get a SIM card. Do get a SIM card before you leave Nigeria. That's very possible. I didn't have anyone. I wish I did. And I saw my auntie. When I saw my auntie, she took me home. I had rides before I started going to Wolverhampton later. My brother picked me up. And that was it. Accommodation. I did not need any accommodation because I stayed with my brother for quite a while. I can still give you tips on accommodation though. What I'll say about accommodation, like my brother got his accommodation before he even moved. So do your research, guys. Research. I cannot talk a lot about research. Research is too important. Do your research. This watching me right now, you're doing a research. You're doing it. I hope you wrote down. I hope I've been able to help. If you have any tips, any video you want me to drop, I feel like I should do a video on the jobs I've done, like jobs you can do when you come. Jobs are very important, you guys. They are not easy to find. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This is my channel. We are not sugarcoating anything for anybody. Jobs are difficult to find. Yeah. So yeah, if you want to get an agent, please do get an agent. If you want to, whatever you want to do, just do it. So far you have enough research, you're good to go. I promise you. But yeah, please tell me, what next do you think I should do? This is my first video, guys, and I'm quite excited. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining me.